Good evening. It's time again for a classic tale of horror and diplomacy called The Telltale Stab. True, nervous, very, very dreadfully nervous I had been and am. But why will you say I was mad? My disease has sharpened my senses, not destroyed, not dulled them. Above all, with the sense of hearing acute. I heard all things in the heaven and in the earth. I heard many things in hell. How then am I mad? Hearken, and observe how healthily, how calmly I can tell you the whole story. It is impossible to say how first the idea entered my brain, but once conceived, it haunted me day and night. Object, there was none. Passion, there was none. I loved the fellow. He had never truly wronged me, though of course he was oft times pitifully mistaken in his views on diplomacy. He had given me insult in the past, yes, but I had always clearly won every argument in the end. For his tournament and online success, I had no desire. I dare say I never pined to conquer all around me as he does. No, none of these things occurred to me. I think it was the grin. Yes, it was the grin. That simpleton's baleful, smug grin of his. Whenever it fell upon me, my blood ran cold. And so by degrees, very gradually, I made up my mind to take the centers of the man, thus crushing his soul to play and ridding myself of that grin forever. Now, this is the point. You fancy me mad. Madmen know nothing, but you should have seen me. You should have seen how wisely I proceeded. Oh, with caution, with what foresight, with what dissimulation. I went to work. I was never kinder to the fool than during the whole gunboat tournament before I was to stab him. Yes, I know that one is not to know who's one's opponent may be at a gunboat game, but nay, the man, he cannot fool me. I can read his grainy, grisly grin in every move, in every support order, every intentional holdback, designed to convince his unwitting victims that his knife is not about to slide with facility into their enticing backs. In every preceding game, I enabled him with my sagaciously poor moves to do well, such that he would be overconfident, oversecure in his own invincibility. I watched as he gleefully crowed when his victories were made public, even when my own supposed blunders were the source of his glee, secure in the knowledge that eventually I would stab the very life blood out of the man, and I would do it in a game that he would otherwise be expecting to win. And I would do it in a way that would guarantee that Riaz Varani, of all people, yes, Riaz Varani would soul the board. His rival, his albatross, the Sherlock to his Moriarty, as it were. After all, I'm really good at writing orders that lead to Riaz solos. Let's be truthful. And then the opportunity. It came. Munich. Munich would be mine. His conquering would be thwarted. I would take the blasted space, and Riaz would flood into the man's territory like a chorus of cacophonous cicadas. Now, if you still think me mad, I can't believe you would, but if you still think me mad, you will think me no longer when I describe the wise precautions I took for the concealment of my role in the stab. Oh, yes, I made the move, but I kept my own counsel. No one would be the wiser. No one would know it had been me. Not until Riaz would take that last soulful dot. I would be rid of that conquesting grin forever. It was not madness that caused me to begin to hear a sound. At first faint, and then waxing loudly, its intensity growing like the billowing edges of a forest inferno. It was that man's voice. His voice, forming insipid entreaties of friendship and collegiality. Of his desire to record an episode with me of something called two-way draw. It was his hounding of me, his pounding on me, his sounding as if he did not feel my stab of his Munich. Did he even notice? It was the noisy realization the man would win the game anyway. The din, the irrepressible, irresponsible, iridescent blatherings of the man, spoken through the lips that formed that grotesque grimacing grin of his. Villain, I shrieked! Dissemble no more, I admit the deed. Here is the screenshot of my orders. Here. This is the source of the telltale stab. Now, I raise my own voice to stentorian heights as I exclaim, can no one rid me of this troublesome, grinning ghoul? Happy Halloween.